Thanks, Vikas, and thanks a lot for your time. Welcome to the session. So the purpose of this session is actually to get to know about you, your training programs, how do you do all those stuff, and what as a student I am going to get out of it. Right.
Understood.
So to start with, may I know maybe you want to explain about yourself, your professional experience, your training experience. What do you do as a trainer?
Sure. Thank you, Sanjay, first of all, inviting me onto this podcast. I'm Vikash Punia, and I've been fortunate enough to spend 18 years in the IT industry. I started my career as a QA analyst and evolved through many roles, many technologies and methodologies. Over the last 15 years, I have developed a deep passion for agile teams that led me to focus on coaching, consulting, and transformation towards more efficient and adaptive way of working for the organization. In that course, I had a privilege of training more than 3,000 professionals in different roles such as Scrum Master, Product Owner, Management, even senior leadership, including CXO level executive. Beyond Agile, I also have trained more than 200 professionals in ITIL, helping them build a more structured and very customer focused approach into IT service management. I have been mainly dedicated to fostering environment where the teams can thrive and deliver better outcome. And I'll be more than happy to share my experience, my insights in today's podcast, whether you are in early stage of your agile journey or whether you are looking to take your organization through the transformation to the next level. I hope people will find value in this conversation. Thank you,
Sure, sure.
sir.
Yep, sure. And that's really fantastic because I heard that you have trained maybe more than 3,000 participant or student. That's really amazing. Good. So and I was looking at the on LinkedIn and other social media, right? You have at least two trainings coming up. One is something to do with an ITIL, and there is another meetup session on agile transformation. Do you want to talk about those things very quick?
I'll talk about the transformation, agile transformation, which is on 27th, 1 hour webinar, free for people to join in which we're gonna focus on really that whether a human being really need to have superpower to be successful with agile transformation. We're gonna bust some myths about agile. We're gonna align, what we need to do to be really able to find a balance between adoption of a framework, between management expectation, and between employee expectations and skill. What we really need to be successful in the world of agile, that is what we're gonna try and bring the crux out of. You don't really need to be a superhuman to get a better and efficient way of working. Another one, ITIL Foundation, which is on 23rd and 24th. There we're going to focus on how people get better into ITIL service management practices. How do they apply the 7 core principle of ITIL throughout their way of working? How do they understand and manage risk, problem, incidents throughout the life cycle and holistically bring a better relationship between the customer and the organization, resulting in better customer satisfaction, resulting in more productivity, more efficiency, and more value delivered to the service organization.
Good.
And that 23rd and 24th, that will be included with the certification where people can get certified with ITL, that is people cert, and they can utilize that to grow further in their career.
Good, good, good. And I heard that this ITIL is quite famous for the service management teams and the organization. And I'm quite hopeful that people are going to get a lot of value out of it. About this,
Absolutely, that's bread and butter, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's true. And about this agile transformation, and you are right. There are so many myths, right? People have different expectation. They do multiple things without actually getting an expected outcome from it. Right. So I'm hoping that with that session, I think people may get some value and maybe at least able to bust some of the myth, right? And that may
absolutely. That's
and
right,
that may
Sanjay. Thank
yeah, and that may help them maybe get it in the right way in their organization. Good.
you.
Okay. Now come think about it. Assuming I am a student, right? I want to enroll for your course, right? But I don't know what is the experience of your past student? How they have get value out of it, whether they have implemented something from after attending your training. Do you have any testimonial, or do you have anyone from your past student have shared any experience with you, how your trainings actually help that student?
Absolutely, Sanjay. So there is a lot of people I've trained, and a lot of testimonials, including video and audio testimonials, that people have been happy to share with me. Some of the nice comments that I got from people that this is the best virtual training they have attended in any time of their life, right? So, but more importantly, understanding the time that we need to spend here. I'll take example of one of my recent student named Rahul. He was trying for the Scrum Master's roles and other stuff, and then he attended one of my training in the Scrum Master a few months ago. He got an opportunity in his company to work as a Scrum Master. That was a mid-sized software company. After this training, he was tasked with leading the transition of a newly formed agile team that was actually struggling to align with the business priority. When I focus on my training, I always focus on why something works, why something does not work. So we also talk about how to do something, but more than how, we focus on why it work, why it doesn't work. So Rahul used that why behind the agile practices as the foundation of his approach in transformation. He started by facilitating the session where the team discussed why agile is important. Rather than imposing the things on the team, he kind of arranged that session where team collaboratively discussed why agile is important for delivering value quickly and how each team member's role contributed to that vision. By helping everyone understand the purpose, the team, the people became more motivated to adopt the newer set of practices, newer set of processes. And one of the key takeaway that Rahul applied was collaborative way of planning. His team initially struggled with prioritizing tasks, with communicating dependencies, but Rahul used onion planning, basically what we call multi-layer planning, starting with very high-level business goals, then progressively breaking down into team-level tasks that help the teams to see how their work align to the bigger picture as a whole, and they become more engaged in the planning process. Additionally, it's not only the team. Rahul developed a great relation with the product owner, product management by using the POPM framework to coach the product owner on aligning the backlog with the needs of the customer. In fact, with the changing needs of the customer, resulting in a more refined and prioritized backlog. Uh, just last week, he reported back to me that his team really has seen significantly improve in their delivery cadence, in their quality. And this onion planning, multi-layer planning, collaborative planning was a key factor in that. Team was more aligned, leading to faster and more efficient delivery of their features.
Good, good. I think that's really exciting. And while you were speaking, I just recalled that it's not only the ITIL, you train people on SAFe also, right? So do you want to give a very quick overview about what all trainings you do as a part of your SAFe program?
Oh, absolutely. Safe is, one of my forte. I've been active in training from the last 5 years while have more than 15-year experience, working in agile way. Safe got introduced in 2011 and I start to fascinate about that from then onwards, right? All the frameworks, version, how they evolved with time. And in the world of scale agile framework, I take all the courses, including for the Scrum Master line, Scrum Master, Advanced Scrum Master, as well as Release Train Engineer. In the product owner field, I do for product owner as well as APM, Agile Product Management. For the technical folks, we do say for DevOps and say for architect. For leadership, portfolio stakeholder, we have leading safe as well as lean portfolio management, right? And there are few other new courses that SAFE is being introducing, which is value stream mapping, which is conflict resolution, which are coming into picture and getting lost month by month over the quarter. And I usually have 5 to 6 classes every month where I try and help people not only getting trained, certified, but building a network outside of the training to see when you go outside the training, how do you practice safe? We continue to connect. Some of my students which 2 3 years back I trained them. They are still in touch, and as they face issue in implementation, they reach out and we discuss and we try and work together and learn from it.
Great, great. And that's a very interesting point you just mentioned about networking, networking even outside the training. I understand people come to the training, it's in a 2 days, 3 days program. They learn something, they pass the certification and they go away. But that it doesn't end here, right? In case if as in a
Absolutely.
group you are still connected, you are still part of that community or the network, that's really valuable. That's really great. And thanks a lot for doing all that stuff. Great. So you're doing a lot of things in the training domain, right? So it's been maybe quite a lot of years you are in this industry. So how are you keeping yourself updated, or how are you improving as a trainer? What are you doing?
Oh, fantastic.
Mm.
First thing is, I relate what I teach to the way how I live. Basically, relate those agile concept, ITL concept to your life. A lot of them don't only apply in just the work professionally that we do, but how we do live our life, right? For example, investment, like in agile, we do experiment early. Investment, if you have longer term horizon, you can take more risk. If you have short term horizon, you're not going to take that much risk, right? So relate it to the way how we live our life. The principles, they actually apply in practices. So one thing is, the continuous learning is very, very key. So I stay current with the latest trend in agile, attend our workshop and webinars, read books, read industry blogs, white paper, publishment, methodology, emerging practices. I continue to gather feedback from all my candidates after every session, which is very, very important. And I kind of encourage them not only talk about positive, but where they feel we can add more value to them, right? Because feedback is, always considered as a gift that help to improve anyone and everyone in this world. I try and engage in real world application where I work with the organizations in real world scenario to help them implement those agile and ITL practices, stay grounded, stay practical, and making it easier for the participant, for the organization to apply their learning in the real environment. On top of that, community involvement, where you remain active into the community, help someone, get help from someone, continue to refine the training materials, add more real world examples for the people to better understand stuff. And last and the final thing, I remain mindfulness and improve my presentation skill to stay focused, to stay calm and stay engaging. That include everything like refining my storytelling technique to manage energy level throughout the long sessions because the sessions are almost 8 hours a day, right? So it has to be storytelling. Otherwise, people gonna miss if only it sounds theoretical. Yeah,
Oh, wow, wonderful. I think you are doing a lot of stuff, right? It's not just the training, right? That is right. I think as a trainer, you also have to keep improving. And there are so many things you mentioned. One thing I would like to highlight for everyone, that's about whatever you as a trainer is preaching or maybe training, you are actually implementing it in, right?
yeah,
You are still connected with a real life implementation where you are practicing it yourself. That's really great. I have I know a few trainers, or maybe there are so many others in the industry who are mainly in the training, right? They may or may not be connected to what is happening in the real world, right? So having that real life examples, right, maybe in a real life stories always helps the participant, right?
absolutely,
That's great.
Sanjay. Can't agree more. You can't always go by the book, and that's what all these agile framework tell us, right?
Uh,
That you learn it. I typically use the example. If you allow me 1 minute,
uh, uh,
typically take the example of Shuhari practice.
mhm,
Like you go to learn martial art, you go to a master.
mhm,
Initially what we say, obey the master blindly. Why? Because you are novice. Master gonna prevent you from big injuries, big failure, big falls. Same are your framework. When you are low maturity, obey the framework. They are proven practices. They're gonna avoid big failures for you, right? But then as you get mature, you're gonna practice yourself. You're gonna experiment yourself. If you learned 100 martial art technique, all 100 won't apply for you, right? Some won't gonna work better, some not so better. Same are framework. Some practices work great for you, some may not work great. So you experiment yourself what works and adapt. And finally, shuhari, Now break free from framework. For example, you learned 100 martial art techniques, but is that the end of the world? No, there can be new techniques as well. Maybe you devise something that your master learned from you, right? So
Mhm.
same our framework. When you get high maturity, you gonna experiment yourself, and you never know the framework learn from you and adapt that in their practices. So that's the mindset we need to develop.
Wonderful,
Actually,
wonderful, wonderful. Great. So I think that's it. And thanks a lot for your time, Vikas. And I'm quite confident that people and the people or student who are going to attend your training, they are going to learn a lot from you. Right. I wish.
absolutely. That's what my aim. That people spend time
Mm.
and money, then they should get the double amount of value out of it, right? So
Exactly. So it's all about when we talk about this value delivery, it's up to us also, right? As an trainer, you are there to deliver the maximum value to your participant, and that's what you are trying to do. Wonderful.
uh,
So thanks again, right? And I wish you good luck. And and that's for the people who are watching this. So there are two sessions coming up. One is on 23rd and 24th of November, and second is on 27th of November. So you are most welcome to join. Right? Thanks,
thank you,
Vikas.
Sanjay, for hosting me. Have a good day.
Thank you.